How's it going, YouTube? Good morning. I hope you all had a happy, safe, and fun 4th of July. Alright, this is a screenshot of AMC, and this is what I'm going to talk about with the threshold list. I know everyone kind of covered it, but everyone just read the definition on the internet of what it was. But no one really described what it really means for the movement, what it really shows and proves, and what it means going forward. And I believe that there's a lot to talk about. So if you guys look at the screen, the purple, that's where these this threshold list solidifies our thoughts and suspicions on them naked shorting. That's what the threshold list was created for. The threshold list was created to help SEC and other regulators have a trigger or a list or something to alert them to the possibility of naked shorting. And that's what this does. And the first day we were on the threshold security list was the 25th. Okay, in order to get on that threshold list, you have to have an FTD that is greater than 2.5 million in volume, considering that the stock has 500,000 shares outstanding. It has to be at least half of 1%. That's 2.5 million shares. Okay, so, and you have to have it for 5 consecutive days that are not covered. So that would put it at the first day it became an FTD on 6/21. Okay, in order for it to become an FTD, it has to not deliver on the delivery date, which is the previous trading day. So that means that it's T+4. So that makes it on 6/16 is when they naked shorted it. That's the initial day that has led to it being on the threshold security list. Yeah, they have naked shorted previous days, but they covered those within 5 days previously. Okay, so that leaves us, they naked shorted at least 2.5 million on the 16th, and it became an FTD on the 21st, and it landed on the threshold securities list on the 25th. That means it didn't cover all the way till then. And it's still on the list as of last trading day, which was 7/2. Okay, so they still haven't covered those, because the second that they cover under the 2.5 million, it will be taken off the threshold securities list. So we know they have not covered at least that many. Who knows, there's probably quite a bit more, but we know that there's at the very least 2.5 million. Okay, they have until the 8th to cover those FTDs to get off the threshold securities list. They have not. So I believe this is a critical point between now and Thursday for them to cover. They have to cover it by then, or it will be covered for them. So there's your update. And if you look moving forward, after the initial naked shorts, we have been battling them every day since then. For the 13 days all the way up to the threshold list and the days following. I mean, it's just been a battle. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's been a battle, and they're struggling so hard to take us below that 52 mark. They tried their damnedest on Friday, and they tried their damnedest. They shorted the living hell out of it. But you look, we brought it right back up. I mean, they have spent millions of dollars, probably maybe even billions, trying to take us below, because they need us to go below. So much so that they haven't been able to cover those naked shorts that put them on that list. I mean, they haven't had the time or the money or the resources to do so, I don't believe. I mean, every day they've been trying to knock us down. So I believe if we can hold it above that 52 mark until day 13 as an FTD, which is the 8th, I believe if we can hold it above 52, that's going to be the gauntlet that takes them out. So if we can keep this sucker above 52 until then, they have to cover at least, at the very minimum, 2.5 million shares. So there'll be an influx in buying pressure at the very minimum, 2.5 million shares. At the very, very minimum. I believe there's plenty more. And people may say, well, that's not necessarily true because GameStop stayed on the threshold list for a lot longer. Well, what you need to understand is if even if AMC goes to the 13th day, they may stay on the list if they put more shares as that became an FTD in the time in between. They'll still have to cover those shares by the 13th, but if they shorted more in between then and haven't covered, those will go on the list immediately following. So it's not like they could just stay on the list forever. They still have to cover those shares within those 13 days. So if we could stay above 52 till that date, I think we're going to have a big catalyst. And you look at the 13th day that GME was first put on there, they had a big influx in buying pressure on that one day. And they can cover before, and they might, but we'll see an influx in buying pressure.